Hello. Hopefully by now you've already heard that from September we will be introducing life groups at Bromborough Evangelical Church. Now, at other churches you may have heard of home groups or gospel communities or life groups or mission communities or all sorts of things. And it's that kind of small group environment that we're going to be introducing from September. So this video is to help you understand what that really means, how we're going to introduce it, and what it's going to mean for you. The idea is that as we grow as a church, we want to be ready that we can still maintain close links of fellowship and actually develop and grow and deepen our relationships in many ways, even as we continue to grow as a church. The strapline for our life groups is that we are sharing life together, which means that for us in our individual communities and groups, we'll be sharing our own lives in a much more rich and meaningful way, but also sharing the good news of eternal life with others and hoping to extend what we're trying to do to take this gospel out and to make it known to others. There are three main areas that we want to be focusing on with our life groups. First, there's discipleship, and that will come mainly through having Bible studies and discussion times in a much more focused and meaningful way, and indeed a more regular way than we've been doing in the past. It's much easier to grow and to discuss and to challenge one another in smaller groups than it is in a group of 20 or 30 people. So hopefully discipleship and that growing in knowledge and love and relationship will deepen. Secondly, there's care. Being part of a smaller group means there's a greater opportunity for more openness with one another in terms of asking for items for prayer. It also means that we're more aware of one another's needs in a much more meaningful and rich way. And so we can, as our relationships with one another deepen, we can help one another and pray in that way. There's also an increased need for an increased opportunity really for hospitality between us as we meet in one another's homes, and perhaps those meetings might move from one home to another as time goes by. So depending on where and when our life groups meet, hopefully there'll be a greater opportunity for hospitality as well between us. So that's the second thing, care. So discipleship, care, and the third thing is mission. We hope that our life groups are able to incorporate mission into the way that you meet. So that might be possible for a life group to work together, to have a kind of a mission community barbecue or just a social meal or whatever it may be. It'll certainly be easier to pray for one another, encourage one another in the small evangelistic things that we do with neighbours, family members, work colleagues, and those sort of things. We can share our experiences and grow together in that way. So those are the three areas that we're trying to make progress in all three as time goes by. And each life group will have a different makeup, and each will have a different emphasis depending on where people are at, and that's the nature of a small group. So discipleship, care, and mission are our three main areas that we're hoping to work. So how is it going to work week to week? We'll alternate actually between our life group get together and our main church prayer meetings. So we're going to shift. Currently we have our mission prayer meetings have been the last Tuesday of every month. Our mission prayer meetings are going to be the first Tuesday of every month, and they'll carry much as they have been. So we'll have external mission speakers coming to join us, as well as leading our thoughts in terms of simply praying and having updates on the mission groups that we already support. So very much as we are, ideally together in the church if we can, or certainly on Zoom, that will continue to be available. So that'll be week one. Week two, we'll separate into our life groups. And then week three, we'll come back together. We'll have our prayer meeting, very much as we have the prayer meeting at the moment. So again, meeting on Zoom or here at the church. And then in week four, we'll have life groups again. So it's a kind of, it'll alternate. We'll have all church gathering for prayer for the mission prayer meeting, then life groups, then all church gathering together for prayer, and then life groups. Now, where on those months where there's a fifth Tuesday in the month, which happens every so often, each life group can actually decide what they choose to do. So it'll be an open meeting, an open Tuesday rather, for each life group to make their own choice. So they might choose to have a free week. We're not going to meet this week. Do something else, meet with your family, whatever it may be. Or it may be that actually, no, we would like to get together simply to pray. Or we might decide to get together to do something evangelistic. And we're going to have a barbecue, a meal, a cup of tea, a cake, whatever it may be. It really is up to each individual life group to decide what you'd like to do and what would be most helpful for you. And just to give you a flavour, that will happen. You'll get one of those Tuesdays in September, another in December, and then as you go into next year, it's March, June, September and November. So about once a quarter you get one of these Tuesdays comes up. Okay, so what will the groups look like? We're going to have 4 groups, and they're led by me, David, Stephen and Graham. David's group is going to meet at the church during the day for those who struggle to get out in the evening for whatever reason, whether that's childcare, don't like coming out in the dark nights, whatever the reason, doesn't matter. We're going to have a daytime, and we're actually going to ask you whether that would be better in the morning or the afternoon. But David, on a Tuesday at some point, morning or afternoon, he'll be leading the life group here at the church building. The other 3 groups are going to meet on Tuesday evenings. Stephen's group is going to meet at Stephen and Lara's house, and they live in Spittal, and that's slightly north of the church building, so we're going to call that the North group. David's group meeting here at the church will be the Central life group, and Graham will be hosting at Graham and Katie's house. We'll call that the Southern group, simply because they're slightly south of the building, or here in Bromborough. The group that I'll be leading will be meeting at Henry and Jenny's house, and that's very much over towards the west of Wirral, so we'll be calling that the West group. So our 4 life groups will be called Central, North, South and West. That doesn't necessarily dictate which life group you will be part of. They're just names. We need to give them a name so that we can refer to them. And rather than call them Darren's group or David's group or whatever it may be, that's not very helpful. So to call them Central, North, South and West, hopefully that will make some sense as time goes by. To get the ball rolling, we're going to allocate you to a group just to get started, to help with the planning and how we get things moving. And then we're going to come to you and say, are you okay with this group? Do you want to be in that group with these people? It may be that you would like to be in a group with some friends, or it may be actually that you'd think, no, actually, I see these friends all the time and I'd like to be in a group with people I don't know particularly well and would like to develop friendships across the church. We're not telling you what to do. We're going to we'll come up with a straw plan, but it's for you to say, yeah, actually I'd like to move or stay, or I'm happy, or whatever it may be. It's not fixed, and it is up for you to move if you want, so that we'll try to work this out through the summer so that we're all ready to get going in September. Okay, so what about those who don't currently come to a prayer meeting, who can't make it out on a Tuesday evening? I'm hoping that this will give you greater flexibility and enable you to come at least to the life group. It may well be that you can come to a life group, but you still can't come to the Tuesday evening all church prayer meetings. And if that's your situation, then we've moved forward, and that'll be really helpful. And I do hope that we all kind of grow in the number of things that we can come to and take part in it as we gather together for those 3 things: the discipleship, care and mission. There are people in the church who are housebound and are actually unable to come to different things in the church, and we understand that. And for that reason, we want to be adding those people to a life group, even if they can't actually join and come in fellowship. And the reason for that is we'd encourage each life group then to just keep in touch with those who can't come, maybe to visit them occasionally, and to just express that the church's love for those who are unable to join us in person. So everybody will be connected to a life group, even if you're not quite able to come and enjoy that time of fellowship. On the church app, there's an area for groups to communicate. We have a number of groups already. Life groups will be included in that. So your life group will have a chat area, a group within the church app for you to share prayer requests, jokes, inspirations, Bible verses, whatever it may be. Or it may simply be, I can't remember what it is this week. Is it the prayer meeting or life group? Whatever it is, there'll be that area within the church app for each group to have that chat time. So, in summary, we'll be starting life groups in September. That means we've got a little bit of planning and sorting out to do through the summer months. And the reason we're doing it is because the Lord has sent us such growth, and He's enabled us to do it by sending us men who can lead these groups. And I'm sure that it will be a huge encouragement to us all to see this kind of progress going on in the church. And indeed, as we develop individually through our life groups, we'll see one another grow in a really encouraging, brilliant way. So let's be praying for its success, praying for one another as we encourage one another as a church to see this next brilliant and exciting phase at Bromborough Evangelical Church. Thank you.